I'm going to propose a radical change to our understanding of time and calendars, but I think it's important for us to think outside of the box somewhat. And this idea comes from an experience I had while moving from New York City to Seattle 3 years ago. I had started a new job in Seattle and I moved literally a few days before starting the job. I don't carry a lot of personal belongings, so it wasn't too hard to move. And what had happened was my, my first day when I moved to Seattle, I was able to sleep at a much more regular time than I'm normally sleeping. Usually I'm still tossing and turning at 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was able to collapse at 10. And I mean collapse. When I put my head on the pillow, I literally fell asleep. I didn't even realize I had fallen asleep until the next morning. And it was at a normal bedtime. I was able to wake up early, refreshed. I was able to get ready for work, sort out a few personal things. And I had lots of energy at work, and I was able to socialize after work, and had a good day. And I was trying to reflect on why I had such a good day because when I was working at previous jobs, I often didn't have enough time for personal events. You see, I like to socialize with others, and I also like to hide at home. I so most people are either one way or the other. I like both, so I often have trouble balancing my schedule. But I was able to do both that day, and I was trying to reflect why I was able to do both. And then it dawned on me. It actually took me 10 minutes to figure this out because I was so excited about starting the job and having so much extra time. And I thought, oh, I want to make every day like this. So I was trying to figure out what I had done right this time. This was my third job, and I wanted to know what I had done right this time. And so I was thinking about this. Unfortunately, I realized that it was nothing I had done right. It was the circumstance. I had just moved from New York to Seattle, and so I had 3 extra hours in that day. And I realized it wasn't going to repeat itself. And unfortunately, I was right. And it made me realize, why don't we have days that are slightly longer than 24 hours? Maybe not 27. 27 might be a little bit hard for some people. I just happen to be wired that way. And you see, the thing is, lighting is so cheap nowadays. I'm sitting in a room that's powered by LED lighting. It's so much cheaper than keeping the heat or the AC on. Especially in the summer. At night, you probably need a whole lot less AC. And you're probably going to be saving money um, doing your work at night anyway. And plus, the other advantage I see of a society that goes around a 27-hour day is that you get to have your activities at all sorts of hours during the day and kind of explore a little bit. Just a few nights ago, I looked in the sky and I saw Jupiter, and most people don't get a chance to see the night sky or if they work the day shift. I had a really good set of binoculars, and I was looking at Ganymede and Callisto, Io, Europa, the big moons of Jupiter, orbiting around Jupiter. Most people don't get a chance to do that on a regular basis. Um, See, every time I go visit my girlfriend in New York, normally when I go on a vacation, I dread having to come home, right? You get this, oh my God, my vacation is going to be over in 2 days, and my vacation is going to be over in one day. Oh, but ever since I've discovered how wonderful a 27-hour day feels, I don't necessarily look forward to coming home, but at least I don't dread it anymore. It's like, okay, I'm enjoying time with my girlfriend, and next week I get to enjoy a 27-hour day. And it's good because I get to come home and have a few good days at work because I'm well rested, have extra time on my hands. I don't necessarily feel a loss of 3 hours when I go visit my girlfriend. My sleep schedule might be messed up for a day or two, but I don't necessarily feel a loss of 3 days. It's kind of weird. So it works out. Um, but I think 27 is about the upper limit. See, when I fly from Europe to the East Coast, that's an extra 6 hours. I don't feel the same way. I feel really messed up when I do that. When I fly from Seattle to Taiwan, that's an 8 hour difference. I feel really messed up when I do that. I've never done 4 or 5 hours. I've driven across the country. When I drive from New York to Seattle and I take 6 days, those days are pretty good too. So even an extra half an hour every day helps somewhat. I'm trying to also remember what else I've done. Oh, there was a time when I was in college and we had spring break, and at the time I was really an introvert at that time. I wasn't mixed at that time. So I'd spend a lot of time at home writing computer games or doing something. And my sleep schedule became a mess. And it became a mess in a very interesting way. I started to sleep a few hours later and later each day until I was sleeping at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I had a mess when I had to go back to school that time. So it made me realize that my body is really wired for 25, maybe 26 hours. And I think the reason for this is my theory. See, the Martian day is exactly 24 hours and 40 minutes. And maybe what has happened is that life originated on Mars because when the solar system was first forming, the whole system was a lot hotter than it is today. So Mars might have had the right temperature, and somehow life traveled to Earth. There's a theory that meteors hit Mars and sent rocks that have bacteria to Earth, and maybe we're still wired for the Mars environment. Actually, people who study Mars, they have a special watch that they follow. NASA has made this Mars watch that has a 24 hour 40-minute cycle and people actually adapt to that. I would love to be working in that job because I would feel so good every day from having those extra 40 minutes. So I'm just thinking outside the box because electricity is so inexpensive these days, and you're probably saving money by not having to run the AC, especially in an economy that doesn't rely so much on agriculture. I wonder why not just follow a 25-hour day? I mean, there doesn't seem to be a loss. Thanks for watching.